You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
Warning: adult topics and content. You must be legal age of majority in your location to view. We are an educational, informative talk show, and our hosts may express their opinions passionately using explicit language. No offense is intended. Take a break and tune in for some great cannabis and psychedelic chit-chat. Learn what's going on in the cannabis industry, find out what's new on the review, and enjoy a laugh or two. Join us for today's Tokin Talk here on the Pace Radio Network with Reverend Cindy and Green Irene.
Hello.
Welcome. Get down. Excuse me. Sorry, Plumpy.
Hello and welcome to Tokin Talk. And while Irene is over there dealing with her dog and food and whatnot, I'm going to welcome you to Tokin Talk here on paceradio.net, cbgtv.com, and everything we stream on Facebook, Twitter, Roku, Fire Stick. LinkedIn.
Here's the really cool thing. You don't have to say any of that anymore. Wherever you enjoy getting your podcast or your video cast, we're there.
We're there.
For Foxcast and cbgtv.com. You'll find us. Pace Radio Network. Again, you'll find us. Because we're on everything now, Cindy. I had a meeting last week, and it was like, okay, so where are we broadcasting? And the question was, where are we not broadcasting? And other than open source forums, which I don't believe we're on, and none of them come to my mind right away, like Odyssey, for example. It's not a platform that we're on yet, but that doesn't mean we can't be shared there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of open source platforms, different ones that replace things like Facebook. I do Steam It a lot. Steam It is an amazing open source platform that is completely and totally unregulated. It's not controlled. It's controlled by too many people with too many strings and too many keys. Get down. Nuke is starting to get mischievous. That's the word we're going to call him. Mischievous. And he's after, I had a salad earlier, and that's what he's after right now is my salad. But it's gone. It's gone. There's nothing left on the table. Nothing for you. No soup for you. No soup for you, puppy. All right. So what are you smoking tonight?
I am currently smoking Bubblicious.
Very cool. I'm going to put out the tobacco. And I'm going to spark up.
Oh, yeah. We shouldn't be smoking tobacco on a cannabis program.
Da, 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 da. I'm going to spark up. It is, one of my new daytime faves. I'm really enjoying it. It's called Bubblegum.
Called what?
Bubblegum.
Nice.
Yes. It's actually really tasty. I don't know anything about the strain except that I like it. I haven't had any time to do the research and that sort of stuff on pretty much anything. I managed to get my shows ready for this week so that we have new live shows. Last week, I was hoping to broadcast the final battle strategy, which would have been a dedication to my brother, who just recently passed. However, I ended up without internet, so I couldn't broadcast it. So it'll be broadcasting this week. And I talk a little bit about the basics of how to grow your own, I'm not telling you how to grow your own. I'm telling you the basics of getting yourself set up and started up. So I got those videos done for this week, productions done for this week. So Wednesday is a brand new cannabis and creative visualizations. Friday is a brand new battle strategy. And I am back in my office as of Monday.
Okay, so bubblegum, sometimes called baba gum, is a popular indica-dominant hybrid cannabis strain. Bubblegum's genetics are a little unclear, but it is believed to be made from an unknown cross of an indica bubblegum. The strain produces a body-numbing high that erases pain and leaves your mind somewhat stimulated. Consumers who smoke it often say it helps them stay alert and be creative, while others kind of report a stony head It is on average 17% THC, which women seem to like a 16 to 20% THC. So it's kind of right in there. And its potency is deal for both new. It's good for both new and experienced cannabis consumers. Yeah, it helps things like chronic pain, nausea, stress, and depression.
Absolutely. And it's been a beautiful strain. I have genuinely been enjoying it. I can attest to all of those things. It has been extremely effective and useful and helpful for daytime use. Let me just make sure.
When I was visiting Quebec last January, I picked up a strain in the legal stores called Baba Gum, which apparently is what you're smoking. So it's the same strain, different name.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely fantastic. So if what is true that it was the same strain, I know the strain, I bought a couple ounces and very much enjoyed it.
My joints falling apart. Mm-hmm.
I go to
and where did you get, sorry, where did you get that?
Here in Nova Scotia, and they deliver like right to the door, called Luxury Buds. I like them because I hate going to the liquor store, so I won't shop legal here because I just don't like going to the liquor store.
Fair enough, right?
Yeah,
really,
but
that's one of those things I really didn't understand. Why they would put cannabis in, lump it in with the liquor. Like that was really bothersome to me. I remember back in the day. And obviously not just me, but several other people as well, yourself included. You know, why would you shop at a liquor store when you're avoiding them?
Yeah. So it, and the couple of times I tried, it caused a lot of anxiety and it was just terrible. So I just don't anymore. There is one standalone cannabis store in Halifax. And then there is one liquor store close to me that the cannabis store is near the front, so I don't have to walk in and walk by everything. Every other time I've tried to go to one, it's been hidden in the back of the store in the back corner.
Yeah, see, that bothers me greatly. Yeah. I love going into here in Ontario. I love going into all the stores. Everyone's a little bit different. Yes, there are your standard stores that are kind of Apple feel. But you go into Northern Helm versus North Cannabis, and they sound the same, but they're two entire. Like one, I feel like I'm walking into cottage country, even though I'm in the city at Northern Cannabis, you know, or Cannabis North. Sorry, and yeah, it's you walk in, and I feel like I'm walking into a cottage country store. Like there's all wooden walls, and there's canoes on the walls, and there's all these, and the products are all the same because it's OCS retail, right? Yeah. And each store picks its own little bits and pieces or favorites that it's going to go with. But on the overall, I really like having that the cannabis stores are cannabis stores. They're not cannabis and. The only place I'd like to see cannabis mixed with things is probably in the grocery store. I'd like to be able to.
I agree with that because it can be eaten. I think that we should have a natural health medicine store. Now, I know that we have them, but not in the same thought process that I'm thinking. Like we've got natural food stores, but a natural health medicine store where you could walk in and get your cannabis or get your proper dose of ayahuasca or iboga or connect with an iboga provider so you can do a macro dose or get your mushrooms or get your DMT or get your natural medicines.
Into a natural medicine apothecary type style store, and I agree 100%. To be able to walk into the store and say how much for a pound of dried mullein, I would take that in a heartbeat over tobacco. It cleanses your respiratory system. It builds the muscle tissue around your lungs. It enhances and cleanses all of the crap that's in there from the free radicals in our air. Mullein is amazingly good for you. It tastes like tobacco and it feels like tobacco in that it helps with the nicotine cravings. So,
well, yeah, I have dried mullein here. I'm looking for my little thing. I don't know where it is. And it's phenomenal. It's very relaxing too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of us tobacco smokers will say, I need a cigarette to relax. But the science does not support that. When you have that cigarette, your blood pressure is elevated.
So everybody knows she's not an ex-smoker lecturing or anything like that.
No, I just put a
She's
cigarette
actually
out and I
a
still
cigarette
got
smoker, so she's speaking facts about what she does. She's not lecturing, just so you know.
No, exactly. Exactly. Thank you. And yes, and I know this. You know, I know how many chemicals are in there, and I know that it elevates my blood pressure, and I know that it does not, in fact, relax me. What it does is it feeds that little fucking green monster called nicotine, and it's kind of like putting a 2-year-old who's having a temper tantrum in the corner. I've got about 10 minutes after I finish it before he starts acting up again. And then I've got another hour before I actually have to deal with it. And that's what the fucking nicotine beast is doing to me. And I know this. And so, again, knowing this, yes, I do have big plans to quit in the very near future. As you tell, I'm already preparing myself mentally, physically. I'm doing that, learning the statistics. How long does it take for our lungs to become cleansed of this? I have been smoking. I was probably about 3 years old, the first cigarette, because sitting around on your uncle's and your grandfather's laps at the card games and at the card table, you know, the beer's going, the cigarette's going, and you grab the cigarette out of one of the overflowing ashtrays and have a puff, and everybody goes, oh, get that away from her, right? So I was probably about 3, but I was 9 when I started to actually smoke. I went down to my basement because all my friends were older than me, and they all smoked. So it was the cool thing. I wanted to be like them. So I went down to the basement.
I was in utero. My mom was a cigarette smoker when she was pregnant. So I was in utero having my first cigarette. I can remember being 3 or 4 like you, same scenarios, but the big scenario I remember is lighting my mom's cigarettes for her.
Yeah,
you know, we didn't know any better back then. So I had, I don't know, half dozen puffs a day lighting my mom's cigarettes.
Yeah.
Right. And then I was 11 when I smoked my first cigarette, like my first actual, picked it up with the intention of I am smoking this cigarette. But I didn't realize that, you know, because my mom smoked when she was pregnant with me, and I had lit all those cigarettes all that time. I had no idea that my body was craving it and I was addicted to it. I just want it to be cool.
Yeah. No, and you know, and you just formed a little beast that got a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger until he was a big beast. And you know, you've been tobacco free now for some time. And that's
14, 15-ish years. I can't even remember anymore.
And that's got to feel great.
Yeah. I remember the day. So it's December 12th is my anniversary, and I'm somewhere in the teen years. But I'd have to sit down and think about the year I quit and work it backwards and figure out how many years it's been. I think it's 15 years. I think 2023 will be 15 years in December. It's 15 or 16. So in December.
Congratulations.
Doesn't really matter which one it is. I think it's pretty awesome. And thank you. It's, you know, it's an accomplishment that I'm really, really proud of, because it's a hard motherfucking thing to do.
And I kind of feel like if I can figure out the strategy against this guy, like I see my nicotine addiction as a little guy, right? Like I see this little cartoon green, vicious little blob in my head, right? And I always, and he wins, the little fucker wins on a regular basis. And it's like, I'm done. And I've decided to do battle. So I'm sitting back making the plan now, you know? Yep. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. I love that one.
Pinners. Roll yourself pinners.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like not a full joint, but you know, the night before, roll say 20 pinners, like just tiny little joints. Yeah. And you know, and not ones that you would share with anybody. Like they're not your social joint. These are the fuck you nicotine fit joints.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So when you're like, I just have to fucking inhale something.
Yeah.
If I could just inhale something, life would be okay. You have a decorated with sticker cigarette pack so you don't see anything about cigarettes on it. You open it up, you take out a pinner, and you smoke it like a cigarette.
Right.
Just to inhale something. And that will help.
Well, thank you. I'll definitely add it to my repertoire of tools. I'll definitely add that as one of my many tools in the shed.
And you need a lot of, like, because like, I mean, it's this motion, right? Like, but it's not this motion and hey, you take 2 puffs. It's this motion until you put it out. So if you give yourself that.
For me, I have to tell myself too that, again, I mean, I'm 54 years old. I've smoked since I was 9. That's 45. Did I do the math right there?
You're 54?
Yeah, that's 45 years that I have smoked. Like full time on purpose. That is.
I gotta say that your eyes are like, you're saying this, but your eyes are going from this to this because it's almost like, holy fuck, I've been smoking for 45 fucking years. Like, it's almost like you're realizing it for the first time as you said that to us.
Right. And it's like, it's one of those, I don't know how to adult with, like, I don't know how to human without a cigarette. So what I did for the last month, since, you know, stuff has happened in my family, I have spent some serious time looking at what life is like without a cigarette and imagining a canoe ride without having to stop and tie up and get off and go to the island so that you can actually sit and enjoy the cigarette without it burning or burning you. You know, so I've been re-looking at my life as a non-smoker so that when I get home and I do my treatment, I know how to live tomorrow without a cigarette. Because I honestly believe that that's going to be my biggest challenge. When it comes to the nicotine addiction, I got the tools. I mean, I threw out when I was ill, I was on 93 pills a day. They were like 4 of this one, 3 of that one, 6 of this one, X number of times a day, yada, yada, yada. 2 injections, a fentanyl patch. One day, everything gone. I lived with all those narcotics, all those antispasmodics, all those barbiturates, everything gone in one day. I went through hell, absolutely, for 9 days. And I mean, the horrors that the stuff I saw isn't even real. But if I can do that and survive it, it's like, okay, you know what? I can handle the addiction of nicotine. I can get past that. I know that.
I believe you can. I got off all the pharmaceuticals and the cocaine and the alcohol, and cigarettes was the hardest thing I quit.
Yeah.
And now, that being said, coming off of the opiates was physically a little bit more demanding. Okay, a lot of it more demanding. But at the same time, the cigarettes were still harder to quit. Like, because when you quit cigarettes, you're not just quitting nicotine, you're quitting the arsenic and the rat poison and the cyanide and all the other chemicals that they've now thrown in there. So it's not just the nicotine, right? It's fucking stupid what you have to quit. But from what you've just said, if you can do all that, you have the willpower, guaranteed. You'll make it. I have faith in that. And you're going to find yourself, you're a busy lady. You're going to find yourself with more time and you're going to go, oh, fuck yeah. Why didn't I do this years ago?
Right. Yeah, no, I certainly have the determination and the mindset for it. I'm not overly concerned. I know that in a short period of time, I will be a non-smoker. But it's funny. You're saying, you know, you quit all the rat poison and the cyanide and the this and the that. And it's like, yeah, right. But in addition to that, do you know what else I have to give up though? And this was weird because I figured it out during a meditation. One of the things that I will be missing the most as a smoker versus a non-smoker. And for someone who suffers from CPTSD as well, you'll get this. I have to give up. I need to find a new escape route. Nowadays, with so many non-smokers, when I start to get overwhelmed or frustrated, it's really easy to say, I'll be back in 10. I'm just going for a smoke. And nobody goes with me.
Okay, well, you know what? You just don't tell anybody that you've quit and you hold on to the excuse.
Okay, we just broadcasted it. I don't think I could do that. But yeah, but you know what? I need to have that other, I need an escape route. And so I was kind of trying to think of some of them. And honestly, you know what it's going to be, I suspect? Gas. Excuse me. And I'll be back in a few minutes. And if anybody is bold enough to ask why or where I'm going, to fart.
Or just be honest. I mean, like in most circles that you go to, it's all patience. Like, I mean,
that's not true for me.
But I mean, in a lot of circles that you do go to, but and even if it's not, if you need a minute, you need a minute. I mean, pick up your phone. I have to make a phone call, but it's sad, I think, that you have to have an excuse. Why can't, what is wrong with just saying, I need a minute? I'm going to step out for a minute. And if somebody says, do you want company? You say, no, I just need a minute. That
Right.
should be absolutely, totally acceptable this day and age.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. But haven't you noticed that there are some overly attending caregivers or wannabe caregivers in the world? They're very compassionate people and they mean very well. And they want to be there. And it's like, well, do you need me to go with you? Or can I do this? Or can I do that? Do you want that? You know what? But when you're going for a cigarette and they're a non-smoker, they're like, okay, cool. So I do find
I've got to go make a quick phone call. I'll be right back. Because that's a super, that you've always got your phone on you. So that's a super easy way to get away.
But again, I kind of feel like, you know how sometimes people ask personal questions and they don't even know they're personal questions? So like, you know what? I just got to step away for a bit. Should be sufficient enough. Now, if someone is bold enough or foolish enough to think they have the right to ask me why, I will tell them, because I want to fart. Ha ha ha. Like, really? What the fuck? What kind of a stupid fucking personal question is that? I need to step away. Fuck off. No. Well, it was a lot more polite the way I said it the first time, right? Excuse me. I've got to rescue a remote control. Give me that. Puppies, they're like 2-year-olds. He's not getting attention, so he's ignored me all day, except for our walks and stuff. But now that I'm busy, it's like, let me get the remote. Let me pull out your wires. Let me try and drink your coffee. Let me have your water. Let me eat your salad. You're a pest. Puppy. I love them.
I am watching my cannabis cup kit come across the country. It's in Mississauga, Ontario right now.
Very cool. I'm glad you're doing it. I'm glad that you're going to be sharing it with us. I personally won't be participating this year for a multitude of reasons. I really do hope that Sarah is capable of achieving the dream and vision of uniting the legacy and the legal market.
She will. Can take a while.
I mourn the passing of the legacy market as I see it.
Yeah, it's people are going to say that, and there's going to be a lot of negative talk around it. And
no, I'm not negative.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you, but there is generally going to be a lot of negative talk around it.
Oh, sure.
And I personally think that that's sad. This is something that, as a community, and I understand that we haven't gotten to where we want it yet. But it has been changing all the time. As a community, we fought for legalization, and we fought hard over a long number of years. Matter of fact, we were criminalized for 93 years, and so we fought hard, and we won. We're still having to fight to get fully to where we should be, But
it is a fledgling industry that is going to take time. Now is not the time to give up.
every industry that is government run and every industry that has to legalize goes through that. Cannabis is no different than any other industry. So I feel that, we have pushed for this. We wanted this. Instead of mourning what we had, we should be excited and welcoming what is coming and fighting to get it to where it needs to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Now is not the time to give up the fight. The fight has simply changed a little bit in that we need to fight to get it to where we want it to be. I would love to be able to walk into a restaurant, or maybe not every restaurant, but select restaurants, and be able to say, can you give me the green menu, for example? And here's your menu. It's, I don't know, Hungarian schnitzel infused at 30 so plain, or infused with 30 milligrams, infused with 60 milligrams.
And we will eventually have cannabis restaurants. And it's going to be one of the things that we fight for. I have a dream of being able to walk into a dispensary, cannabis only, anywhere in the country, and be able to say, hi, here's my prescription. And they go, oh, okay. Well, here's the prescription prices. Here's the medical prices for you. And be able to order, and have my friend who doesn't have a prescription order, like we order the exact same thing and we see the difference in price because I shouldn't have to pay tax on my medicine. I dream of that. And that will come someday. Will I see it? I sure as shit hope so. But it's the next fight. And I don't mourn
to have insurances pay for it.
And that would be nice too. But right? at the very least, with other because I've got to pay for other medications too. So now, I'm not saying I shouldn't have to pay my fair share for it, but I shouldn't have to pay the taxes. I shouldn't have to pay the $1 a gram, surtax. That should not be something that I pay as a patient. My friend Joe Blow, who comes in, who isn't a patient, he should be able to order anything that he wants, the same as me, but he should have to pay those taxes.
Sure.
Like that should be a huge difference.
He's supporting a retail industry or business in the country that is facilitating taxes to run our country. And that's one of the freedoms we enjoy. Absolutely. I agree. I don't disagree. The other thing I would like to see too is medical or therapy. I shouldn't say medical. I don't want to say medical. What I want to say is therapeutic clinics, cannabis clinics, to help people find the right strains for them. I'd like to see the databases built that, for arthritic patients, these 9 strains with these profiles really seem to work for the majority of rheumatoid arthritis patients, for example. Right?
That gives a good starting point, right? Because everybody needs something different. But if you've got a good starting point and they can tell you what works or doesn't work, being able to move on from there. But,
exactly. And having those clinics, having someone, the consultant or the coach, like some of the stuff that I was doing in the early days and a few others that we're doing in the early days, to help patients learn to understand this plant because it had been so stigmatized for so long. Give me that. Oh my God. He got my napkin and he's feasting on it. Puppy.
So yeah, all that stuff would be absolutely wonderful. But we're heading there, and I foresee
so. Not if the government
in the future.
But we're not headed there if the government gets doing away with the medical program now that there's a recreational market.
Well, no, and that's why Ted Smith is doing what he's doing out west, and we need to throw our weight behind him. And
absolutely,
and that's part of moving forward, right? Like,
yes.
He's going to court. He's doing things. He's taking on the federal government yet again. This is step 3. Allard went before. Owen Smith went before. Ted Smith is going now. There should be more of us that do the same thing. So we are going forward. And even if they try and squash it, there's enough of us. We brought it along in the first place. You don't think we're not going to bring it back? We are going to bring it back, but we have to take a look forward instead of continuing to look backwards. We have to look forward. We have to start pushing for consumption lounges. We have to start pushing for proper rights for medical patients, which is one of the things that Ted Smith is doing out there. And we need to start doing this. The provinces that aren't even allowed to grow their own yet, there's a fight to be fought there, and making legal recreational cannabis equivalent to legacy, I think, is a big fight. And by that, I mean, I foresee Sarah Sunday having a Karma Cup someday festival again, where it is pretty much just like it was last year, except for you have legal people there. But we've got to change some rules, like you can sell or you can purchase more than 30 grams at a time. We have to have some rules where we can have farmers markets and people can come along and sell their wares. We have to change those rules for that to happen. And I think Sarah Sunday is in a prime spot to make that happen. And that's why I decided to get in on ground one, because even though this is Karma Cup 10, this is really Rep Karma Cup 1. It's like the first one all over again, and she's about to build it. And in doing that, she's going to change rules. And I say 5 years from now, we're going to have a Karma Cup festival, and it's going to be everything that we're missing this year. And that's my TED Talk. I'm Cindy Howell. And with
now,
that,
Cindy, please tell us what you really think.
Yeah. It's really more of a wish from the heart, because like I really, like everybody else that has gone to Karma in the past, I'm already missing it, and we're not even to September yet.
Yeah.
So I decided to take a look at what did she do over 9 years, and she took it from everybody come and get your tiny little kit and we'll do this to so now we're at, okay, everybody come get your tiny little kit again.
And I don't disagree with you at all. I think, because we finally won the legalization, because yada, yada, because we've made all these steps, this is part of the growing pains for sure. And, anybody that wants to support us and send me a kit, I'll give you my address. I simply cannot afford it this year, amongst other things. Now, I probably, if it was still legacy, I would probably put myself out a little bit more, but I know that over time, when it is more feasible or a better timing for me, then getting those kits from OCS will not be an issue for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And they've got to come down in price. They're not grossly outrageous in comparison to OCS prices, but
it works out to almost $350 a gram, an ounce of weed. And you're not sure if the weed is good or bad. So,
no. One thing I know that's coming in these kits is it's good. I have watched every single one of the judging parties, and I know all of the judges, and I know their tastes, and I know what they like in quality. So I know what they narrowed it down to is going to be bloody effing amazing, and I'm expecting nothing less. Because you saw the same people. There was all the old school people were there judging.
Yeah.
So it's going to be good. I have faith in that. I need to take us to commercial, but we'll come back and we'll continue to talk about the Karma Cup because I'm super excited for the kids. We'll be back in 2 minutes and 44 seconds.
All right.
Okay.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more. We've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Pace Radio is the people advocating cannabis education radio network.
Are you a cannabis content creator? Are you looking for a place to have your content seen? If you answer yes to both questions, then you need to check out cbgtv.com. CBG TV broadcasting to a worldwide audience. Find us at cbgtv.com.
Are you watching television on Roku, Fire, maybe an Apple TV or even Chromecast? If you are, then download the Boxcast app and search for CBG TV.
Did you know that the Pace Radio Network isn't just a radio network? That's right, because most, but not all of our programming is now done via video and is then podcasted at paceradio.net. So if you want to watch our programming, you'll find us on the Pace Radio Network's Facebook page, plus the show's own page, and you'll find us live on the network's YouTube channel. And don't forget, you can find it all, video and audio, at paceradio.net.
Legacy 420 have an awesome array of cannabis-infused beverages, from pop to Nature's Nectar's teas, all in amazing flavors. What a selection! We even have a delicious mango-infused juice, and let me tell you, it's delicious.
Everything is infused in-house, so we buy our syrup from the same place where everybody else buys their syrup for their pop, and the infusion is done in the lab. It's all canned here, labeled here, produced 100% on Tyndonega.
We have two lines of drinks. One is called our Nature's Nectar. That was our original line that we came out with. And then we also have a line under the Red E brand. We have them in 10 milligrams, 30 milligram, and 60 milligram cans.
What a great selection for a get-together with friends or after a long day. Remember, if you want to wet your whistle with on-site lab-tested products, come see your trusted partner. Legacy 420 out on your road.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network, here at paceradio.net.
And we're back. As I was heading to my calculator.
I gotta admit, that's the other thing for quitting smoking too, is I remember as a little girl, one of my nannies, she was a heavy smoker. Now, I mean, when I say heavy smoker, they smoked, like, they lit a lot of cigarettes, but they mostly flicked the ashes and then put them out about halfway. So me and my sister aunt would steal their, like, half cigarettes and enjoy those. And they smoked Vantage Lights. So I don't know. I mean, you might as well just breathe air through its straw, really, right? But anyways, she got this really hackly, crackly voice. And her breath always smelled like dirty socks. And I always thought, you know what? When I'm a nanny, I'm not going to smoke because I don't want my grandkids to not want to hug me. And one of my grandsons does this to me the other day. Like, he plugged his nose and turned his head, and I had just finished a cigarette, and it was like, oh, Irene, you waited too long. It's,
Yep.
Yep. But yeah, to see cannabis in grocery stores, like the leaves in like a pile, like right beside lettuce or radishes or what have you, because the cannabis leaves are, I mean, the nutritional value that comes there, it's a superfood, right?
Yep.
So to have that is a big deal.
And like you say, to have cannabis, like infusion restaurants. So like, I mean, like, for it to be legal for, say Joe Blow to open up a restaurant and, you walk in for your infused meal, right? And to have like two separate cooking surfaces so you can cook fused and uninfused, right? Because not everybody's going to want it. I think it's a great idea.
Yes, and then or even restaurants to introduce it. Can you tell I used to have a restaurant and the brain just starts going, right? But for restaurants to introduce it, they could start with a like a weed Wednesday night. So everything Wednesday is infused. If you don't want an infused meal, don't go there for dinner on Wednesday. But for cannabis, so then they could, standardize the menu. You could get an idea of what different cannabis foods and fusions actually taste like, because a cannabis zucchini bread that is made with applesauce is absolutely delicious, and you get the little bits of zucchini and the little bits of cannabis, and it's just like, oh, amazingly tasty. And it's not it's healthy for you. It's healthy for you. And depending on how you make it will determine, you need to stop eating my hands. Depending on how you make it will determine whether or not there's a psychotropic high associated with it, because you can do it one of two different ways, right? So one will give you the euphoria, and the other, so one is nutritional, the other is medicinal.
Yep.
Both are delicious. And do you see how pesky he has become?
Yeah.
He has not been like this all day. This is because I am busy. And now the attention is not on him. Yep. All of his chew toys are way over there at the door. He has picked them up from my feet, moved them, and is now like, let's go. I want your attention.
Yep. That's a puppy.
It is. He's a good boy, though. He's had a lot of new experiences in the last week. He found out what Georgian Bay was. Yeah. He found out what a Canadian goose was. He met a frog. That was the first time. He nearly dove headfirst into the pond after the turtle. He almost walked right off the freaking dock into the bay, like not realizing that it stopped there, you know. But he went for a walk through the bush and down by the water, and he's had a lot of very positive experiences for a puppy.
That's awesome.
Yes. And Mommy's exhausted.
Wow. Yeah. I think it's time to talk about giveaways.
Oh, yes.
Always awesome. We have the giveaway
right now. So, sorry. I was just going to say, with me being away right now, I have no idea what the prizes are. This is as exciting for me as it is for our viewers.
So I have last week's prize, which is over here, that we will go over again here in a minute when we give it away closer to the end of the show. Well, don't do that. But we're going to talk about next week's giveaway, and of course how to enter. I'm getting to the right spot so I can click. Wrong one. So next week we are going to give away. You have to, if we don't know you, you're going to have to prove that you are 19 and you must live in Canada to win this. We are going to be sending you off some Scoobies, some Scooby snacks.
Oh, yum, 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 yum. Scooby snacks. Scooby. I want a Scooby
These
snack.
are Scoobies.
Scoobies. Yes, Scoobies.
There are 10 caps in here.
Scooby snacks. Is Mommy talking about Scooby snacks? They're not for you. They're for me.
Yeah. And this pack contains 10 Scoobies, which in total have 2.5 grams of golden teachers, which will give you 0.25 in each cap. So it is a nice microdose. Very nice microdose. Also, to go with this, you get some socks from Rocket Seeds.
Cool. Love it.
So this is donated by Heaven. And of course, this is donated by our dear friend Steve, who is my co-host on Mushy Moment.
Very cool. Wonderful, Cindy.
Today we are, what are we going to ask? We are going to ask. Looking around.
How do you like consuming cannabis?
There you go. How do you like consuming cannabis? You need to tune in to Tokin Talk what you're doing. You need to catch the catchphrase or trivia question, which is, how do you like to consume your cannabis? How do you like it? How do you smoke joints? Do you smoke blunts? Do you eat it? Do you vape it? Do you dab it? Do you take it in tinctures? How do you use your cannabis? And you email your name and entry answer to teandtoke@hotmail.com. That is TEAANDTOKE @hotmail.com. Please do your best to have your answers in by next Sunday evening at 7:10-ish p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are not,
rigid about that.
No, as long as we get your answer before we make the wheel, we are good. But do your best to have it in on Sunday night. We'd appreciate that. So just again, email us your favorite way to consume your cannabis at teaandtoke@hotmail.com, preferably by next Sunday evening, and you will be in to win the microdose.
Every time we come back on camera, I'm sparking out. That looks awesome. And you know what? Those Scoobies are wonderful. And I didn't fully microdose with them. I did one day, but I really like the effects. And that was after I had done.
I am microdosing on a Scoobies right now.
Very cool. Very cool. Full disclosure. Cindy, we got a job for you in TV.
Yeah, so get those emails in, and we will definitely get you in the giveaway for that. We will put that over to the side. This week, what time are we at? We could probably do this pretty soon. We can talk about it anyway. This week, which is, of course, the giveaway that we set up last week, you are getting, as I unroll this, you are getting a roll of raw classic papers. So it's a whole roll. So you can make a kick-ass long joint.
Or fancy joints like Cody Van Gogh.
3 meters.
Kill.
You are getting a king-size pack of Gringos.
Perfect.
You are getting, this is all from Campbellford Lifestyle, of course, some hemp wraps.
Oh, the hemp wraps. Very nice. Nice.
You are getting from the 420 Cup, Asia May Moon and 3 Happy Cats, a lanyard.
Love it.
And we are almost to the end of that. Oh, and I got something exciting to show you too. That's right. I almost forgot. And this is the T-shirt that we put up last week.
Feel myself. Yes, I
Feel
love it.
myself with the cannabis cap.
Yes.
So we have some people that entered. Their names are in the roundabout. But speaking of the 420 Cup, as I look behind me, certain things are gone. Ooh. I don't know what I did with it. But I have a Ross's Gold hat, and I will be.
I love that.
I actually have 2, and we'll be giving one away. I got these for getting my entry in on time.
Oh,
not my entry, but
my entry in. Can I get my entry in? I love it.
Also, Asia sent me to show off because the 3 Happy Cats won. So she gifted me one of their winning cups. This was one of the 2023 winning cups from the 420 Cup in Vancouver.
How beautiful is that?
There will be, just to let you know, there is going to be, it is already in the works, already in the planning, a Cannabis Cup, 420 Cup 2024. So get your entries in. You can reach out to 3 Happy Cats on Facebook, on Instagram to find out the details, and they will be announced as time goes on. But if you are a cannabis grower, cannabis maker, an edible maker, whatever, topical maker, prepare for the cup in 2024. It should be a blast. It sure was this past year.
Very nice. Beautiful. Well, I'm sorry I didn't go, and I know a few things got in the way this year. And then as it turned out, we never know what's good or bad, right? Through all of life, I keep being reminded of the farmer's story. You never know what's good or bad, and you just go with the flow. And with everything that happened, I'm glad I was right here and not there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everything in its due time. Next year is the game plan, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Go with the flow. But I'm really glad. That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. Congratulations on the win. That's so cool.
Yes. It would be even cooler if I had entered something and pretended like I know I won. Look. But I didn't enter a thing. This is not my win. But I do get to show it off on behalf of the 3 Happy Cats. So I'm pretty stoked.
Well, you never know. In a couple of years, if I can get the strain perfected, I may have some Jimmy weed coming out.
That would be fun.
Right? That would be fun. We'll see what happens.
Let me finish my joint before we see who wins this. Whoever wins it, I apologize for the cat hair. And I apologize that it's wrinkled, but the cats were laying on it, hence the cat hair and the wrinkles.
Yeah, around here, pet fur or pet hair is just a condiment.
It just is what it is. It sadly is what it is.
Mr. Blue Eyes here. Honestly, I really think we should have just he should have been named Frank. He's just got, those puppy blue eyes. Look at that. Yeah. Right? He says, Mom, will you quit poking and pawing and do? He's had more experiences and than he's had, and it's been good. I love the spring. I love puppies.
I remember when you first got Wookie and you took him everywhere with you.
Wookie still does
go ride and he'd be in the basket.
And he loves it. And you know what? I was looking at backpacks that he can, so like I won't even feel him on my back. And I can put him in the backpack and he can stick his head out the little window. And he can sit, he can lay down, he can have water. So he would be safe, and we could go for a nice hike out in the bush into the trails, and I don't have to worry about him bouncing out of the basket, because now that he's bigger, that's my concern, is he would bounce out of the basket.
Yep.
And but yeah, no, you know what? I didn't get him. It was a really big decision to get another dog. It really was. At this age and stage in life, it was like, wow, that's a 10 to 20 year responsibility and yada, 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 yada. Right. Like, but absolutely no regrets. And Wookie still goes everywhere with me. And yet I can leave him behind. He does not have separation anxiety. He's, I was gone from him for 3 solid weeks. It was very difficult. But it's great to be back. And, he's beautiful. I can be gone 3 weeks or 3 minutes and he still gets super excited to see me. I love that. And he's such a good boy. But I'm walking through the park the other day with both of these, little Wookie on his leash and this one on his. And I've got them, I kind of manage them like a team of horses with a stick, because otherwise the leashes hurt my hand. And then that way I also have a stick to play with, right? Yep. So anyways, I kind of manage the leashes. And this fella comes up to me and he says, well, now that's an odd combination choice. I point at Wookie and I said, yeah, he's my security. This is my snuggle buddy. If you're watching, see, I didn't lie. Wookie's at the gate watching the driveway while this one snuggles me.
Yeah. Well, I think it is time to click a button or two.
The will to win. Who do we have here this week? You know what? I got rid of my glasses here. Give me a minute.
She said, I need my glasses. This week, if I can get to the right window, we have Nada, we have Bonnie, we have Matt. Matt is new. Leona and Andy are all in the draw. So I'm going to click a button. And
awesome. Good luck, everybody. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Woot, woot, woot,
here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Winner is Andy.
Now, if I can get back here. Oh, you got it.
Very cool. Very cool. Congratulations, Andy. Congratulations. And thank you, everybody, for entering. Make sure you get in on next week's draw. And you know what? I might hunt you down for that hat.
And then pay attention, because sometime in the future, the Ross's Gold hat.
Oh, that's going to be separate. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. They did not win that. This is. I just got this, so this will be in for another. And then I have other prize packs that were sent to me too. So they will be in the future. Stay tuned.
I know, dude. He just got all excited too. See that? I'm like, giddy. Dude, is that exciting? Why is that exciting? I don't know why, he says, but maybe. I know it's a beautiful sunset, eh, Wookie? I know, baby boys. I know.
Yeah. Our sunset has already happened. It is already dark here in Nova Scotia. Soon, though, it will be light right up until 10 o'clock, and it'll be beautiful. I'm super excited for that.
Well, I'm going to share a little bit. Tell me when you see it.
He froze. What are we looking for here? Where is he?
Do you see it yet?
Looking?
No, the sunset.
Oh, the sunset. There it is. Let's do this. Just a second. Ooh, wrong side. There it is.
There. Yeah. I mean, I love the sunsets here in Penetang. When you look across the bay, let me try and get this turned around again. When you look across the bay here in Penetang, the hills here are literally lined in this golden hue because of the way the sun sets, and it's different times of the year it looks like it's on fire. Other times of the year it looks like it's got not a silver lining but a gold lining, and it's beautiful. And ever since my Papa Deval, the one who recently passed, we buried him last week, I believe, possibly the week, no, it was last week. His house was right across from the water. So me and my sister aunt would always go across the road, go fishing as kids, get up in the morning. And so we'd see and then at night we'd be at the dinner table looking out the living room window and watching that sunset and the hills go golden colored. It was memories, right? And you've got to have them down on the water there too, like down in where you are. It's such a beautiful. Friends of mine have been sending me pictures and saying, come for a visit, right? But you guys get cold, nasty winters, so I'm not coming near there.
Our winter was easier than Ontario this past year.
That's crazy. You know what? I honestly, I feel like my future holds in it something like Arizona. I need that dry heat. And yeah, but you know what? I don't do well with the cold and I'm torturing myself. So I'm starting to think something like Arizona for retirement. I don't know, because I don't know anything about it other than it's dry and it's hot. Like that's honestly what I know. But so I may start doing a little bit of research, but yeah, definitely. I'm looking very forward to the summer weather coming, the heat,
it's not far.
The warmth. I'm so much more productive and functional and happy in the summertime. Winter is very brutal and very challenging. Don't you find that?
I like fall and spring. I find summer and winter to be equally challenging.
Really, eh? And I have a few girlfriends that are like that as well. It's just, no, spring and fall, or spring or fall. And then I got a couple friends from Newfoundland that just love the winter. I think they're nuts. Yeah. But I could take massive amounts of heat. I love it.
I don't mind the heat.
Many times.
Anyway, I've got to sign us off right quick. Thank you for watching us, cbgtv.com, and oh my goodness, paceradio.net. We'll see you next week. Bye.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own, and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
When you have a pain that's reached its peak, Legacy for 20, it's so unique. If organic cannabis is what you seek, here's your trusted partners 7 days a week. Suppository salves, vapes and drops, topicals, edibles, infused pop. Just when life seems like it ain't easy, at Legacy 420, enjoy a pop freezy. Lab tested products, make them the GOAT. Legacy 420 out on your road. Legacy 420 in Tyendinaga Mohawk territory. Indigenous organic cannabis at its finest.
What do you find at paceradio.net? People advocating cannabis education.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Are you a cannabis content creator? Are you looking for a place to have your content seen? If you answer yes to both questions, then you need to check out cbgtv.com. CBG TV, broadcasting to a worldwide audience. Find us at cbgtv.com.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.